how long has it been since I played singles in pickleball? So the last tournament I played when I was healthy was at the Atlanta Slam, and that was May 19th was the last day of that tournament. I played Tyson McGuffin, and I won like 11-9 in the third. That was for the bronze match. I played Tyson, and since that match, I've not been healthy enough to play singles. So I went 233 days from that match until Palm Springs when I could play singles again. So I have not played singles because I had a surgery, and recovering from that surgery caused me to strain my hamstring and my calf. So today we're going to be diving into what it was like coming back to singles after 7 months of not playing. So I played Alex Neumann first round at the PPA Palm Springs Masters, first tournament of the year. And I was a little worried. I had played Alex Neumann before, and it was kind of close. I played him earlier in my pickleball career, but I was confident in my ability to win that match going in, and I played well. I'd say the biggest strategy I had in mind was serving big because I haven't played singles in a long time. My cat and mouse game is probably going to be a lot weaker than people who have been playing singles. My volleys, my reaching volleys, I know might not be as good, but going in, I knew what I could do well was serving big and passing. Because I've been hitting drives for the last 7 months, regardless of being in singles or not. So I was very comfortable with driving the ball. So that was the strategy, was to hit big serves and to drive the first ball. I believe the score was like 11-0, 11-1. I could be wrong. Maybe it was like 11-0, 11-3. I felt good. It felt like, it felt like there was an itch that I couldn't scratch for a long time. And singles is so different than doubles, and it has its pros, it has its cons, but the pros of it is it makes you feel like an athlete. It really does. Doubles, you're kind of just standing there. There are definitely athletic moments in doubles, but in singles, it's a different story. I mean, you're jumping, you could slide, you're reaching, you're sprinting. There's an athletic feeling that comes with singles that I love a lot, especially because I know how athletic pickleball can be when you play singles, and sometimes pickleball gets a bad rep for not being athletic, and I could maybe agree a little bit in doubles, but when it comes to singles, no doubt you need to be athletic. So yeah, round 2 I had Pablo Tellez, and I would say similar strategy. I mean, the strategy I had this tournament was more for me overall rather than playing my opponent, which is not exactly what you want to do in pickleball. Very often you want to play your opponent rather than playing your own cards. But since I had been out of the game for so long, I kind of had to rely on my own strengths. My strategy was to hit big serves, try and get the first passing shot, knowing it was going to be tougher than the first round. And my strategy was also to stay back on some returns, because I know Pablo can get really hot. He's a great player, and he can pass very well. So he can also serve very well. So if there was a good serve, I would be more hesitant to run to the net. So I stayed back a little bit more and mixed in staying back and coming to the net on the return. Yeah, so there was a lot of wind that day. I saw Fed and Zane Ford stopping their match right next to us, and Pablo in the first game, it was 3-3. He goes to the ref. He's like, hey, should we be stopping play? And I'm just standing there, and the ref's like, I don't think it's that bad yet, or bad enough yet. Pablo comes back out, wins the next 4 points in a row, and I'm like, come on here. Besides that, the wind was very bad. I mean, and usually one side is much worse than the other, and usually it's the side that's against the wind. When you're against the wind in singles, it's very tough to hit through the ball because your ball, is getting stopped by the wind. Whereas when you're playing with the wind in singles, you can hit driving passing shots easier So usually in singles, you want to pick the side with the wind. What was interesting about this match that we played is both of us won our game because we split, Pablo and I did. We both won our game on the side that was against the wind. So it's not always the case that being with the wind is better. So I hit a tweener on match point, and I've got the name Tweener King. I got to live up to it every now and then, but I did hit a tweener on match point. But the thing is, I'm kind of past the point in my career where I just hit tweeners for the sake of hitting tweeners. I don't want to showboat. I went through this a while ago, but early in my career, I hit a ton of tweeners just because it was a lot of fun, and I knew I wasn't going to win every single match, especially against some top players, but what I did know is that I could hit some tweeners and make the matches look really cool, and I think I did that. But once it gets closer, once the level gets higher and you're right there competing for the best spot in the world, those centimeters, those inches, they matter. And, since every inch matters, I can't afford to miss even one shot. I can't afford to lose even 1 point by doing a dumb tweener. So I don't hit dumb tweeners anymore. But sometimes when the ball comes right at your feet and lands right at your toes, you have no option. Your best option is to hit a tweener. And that's exactly what happened. Match point against Pablo Tellez. I drove the ball, and he hit the ball right at my feet, and I don't have time to hit it in front of me. I don't have time to get around it, so my best option is to hit it between my legs, and I did that and ended up winning the point, and it was awesome. Yeah, so round 3, I played against Federico Staksrud, and I knew that this match was going to be very different than my last 2 matches. Played against him a lot before, and when I was playing against him before, we had some close battles. And now I know that he's been playing and training singles for, almost a year longer than I have at this point. So I knew I was going to be rusty. I knew he was going to be better than the last time I played him. So I was a little nervous about that, understandably so. But, I went into that knowing I could win. I knew that it wasn't going to be easy, but I definitely knew I could win. And I think after the first game, I probably was like, dang, I might not win. My strategy was about the same as it was against Pablo. Big serves, driving the ball, staying back some, coming to the net some. I think one of the reasons Fed is so dominant initially, the reason why he was so good is he had a really good return. He had a very solid return, and that's such an important part about singles, is hitting a really good return. What I noticed when I played him this time was I would hit really good returns, and he would come up with some crazy passing shots. I mean, I had people come to me after the match, and they were like, they were like, Fed played really well. And I think he did play very well, but the thing is, I was not applying any pressure to him. So he had very little pressure after the beginning, because he kind of took it away. I had opportunities to, keep it close, and I did not execute on those opportunities. So I think he played really well. I think I had opportunities to keep it close, and I didn't. I mean, the thing is, there's so many things I took away from that tournament, from those matches, and you learn so much from playing. I used to be good at singles, and now I feel like I'm okay. And it's weird because, as I was playing, I was getting flashbacks of strategies and things I should be doing, and right now I'm not seeing the ball, I'm not seeing the court, I'm not seeing the strategy the way I was 8 months ago. And it's really weird to hit a ball and hit a good shot and kind of just stand there, whereas in the past I would hit a good ball and I would rush the net, or I'd move a certain way. And I think that was something that happened a lot this tournament, is I would get flashbacks to me playing singles and me making really good plays, and just not doing that now, and kind of just falling short on a lot of shots. And it's mostly just not execution, but choices and shot selection, and moving in at certain times, going for certain shots rather than dropping. What I took away from the tournament is that I still have it in me to be a good or great singles player, I just have to train. You know, I had a few days, maybe a week to train for singles before this. So a lot to learn, a lot to learn. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to win a brand new paddle, all you have to do is just subscribe. And once a month, I give away a paddle to a lucky subscriber. So make sure you do that. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. If you like this interview style video, then let me know in the comments what you think, if you liked it. And thank you so much for watching once again. See you in the next one.